What if the YouTube advice you are following was designed for people with zero professional experience? You see, I have built YouTube channels across multiple niches, some with top-ranking videos, others with massive reach, and millions of views. After seeing how all of that works behind the scenes, I can tell you this with confidence. If you are a professional, chasing views is usually the wrong goal. What matters far more is authority, trust, and the right clients. So in this video, you will discover why the YouTube strategies designed for beginners are sabotaging your professional reputation, and learn the authority-based approach that lets you attract high-quality clients without compromising your expertise or starting from scratch. Now, you might have noticed something a little different about this video. This is my AI twin. You see, I use it because as a professional, my job isn't to spend 10 hours a week filming. It's to think, solve problems, and help clients. And the real value isn't only the face on the screen, it's the thinking behind it. Have you ever wondered why every YouTube course seems designed for people who are just starting their careers? Most YouTube strategies assume you need to build credibility from zero. They tell you to post daily, find your niche, and grow your audience slowly over time. But when you are already an established professional, this approach creates a fundamental problem. You are being asked to act like someone who does not know what they are talking about. You are told to experiment publicly, make beginner mistakes, and learn as you go. Meanwhile, your clients and peers are watching. Every awkward video, every uncertain moment, every piece of generic advice you share is actually undermining the authority you have spent years building in your field. The strategy fails when applied by beginners because it requires something they do not have: existing expertise and professional reputation. When someone with no experience follows this advice, they have nothing to lose. When you follow it, you are risking the credibility that took decades to build. What is the real difference between someone who Googled something last week and someone who has solved the same problem for 20 years? Most YouTube advice treats these two people exactly the same. It assumes everyone starts with the same level of knowledge and needs to prove themselves through volume and consistency. But there is a massive gap between having information and having expertise. Information is what you can research, memorize, and repeat. Expertise is what you develop through years of real-world application, failed attempts, and refined judgment. When you have information, you need to create lots of content to demonstrate competence. When you have expertise, you already possess something that cannot be faked or fast-tracked. Yet the standard YouTube playbook ignores this distinction completely. It pushes experts to behave like information gatherers, diluting their natural authority by forcing them to compete on volume rather than depth. Information requires proof through repetition. Expertise commands attention through demonstration. The difference changes everything about how you should approach YouTube. Now, before we go further, let me give you something practical. If you're a consultant, coach, or service professional, and you want clients from YouTube without becoming a content creator, I built a short diagnostic called the Expertise to Authority Breakdown. It shows you exactly which part of your experience should become your authority angle on YouTube. So you're not guessing what to talk about or copying creator strategies that don't fit you. Click the link in the description to get your personalized breakdown that you can use right away. Why do two people following the exact same YouTube strategy get completely different results? Here's what most people miss. YouTube does not just reward content. It rewards confidence and clarity. When someone with deep experience speaks about their field, something fundamental shifts. They do not hedge their statements with, "I think," or "maybe." They do not need to research basic concepts mid-video. They can address objections before viewers even think of them, because they have heard every question 1,000 times. This creates a completely different viewing experience. The audience senses authority immediately. They stay longer, engage more, and trust faster. But here's the problem. Most YouTube training completely ignores this advantage. It teaches experienced professionals to act like beginners. Experience does not just change what you say on YouTube. It changes how people respond to you saying it. The platform rewards this confidence, but only if you stop hiding it behind beginner strategies. What happens when your clients watch you learn basic YouTube skills in real time? Standard YouTube advice encourages figuring it out publicly, posting imperfect content, learning from mistakes, and improving over time. For beginners, this builds authenticity and relatability. But for established professionals, this approach creates a devastating problem. Your existing clients, referral partners, and industry peers are watching. When they see you struggling with basic video concepts, stumbling through explanations, or posting inconsistent content, they are not thinking, "How authentic?" They are questioning your competence. Every awkward pause, every technical mistake, every moment of visible uncertainty chips away at the professional reputation you have spent years building. Meanwhile, your competitors who are not on YouTube maintain their polished expert image. You are inadvertently training your market to see you as less capable than you actually are, all in the name of being real on a platform that rewards confidence. The cost is not just embarrassment. It is the erosion of professional credibility that took decades to build. What works for people with nothing to lose destroys the authority that experienced professionals depend on. How many videos does it take to prove you know what you are talking about when you have already been doing it for 15 years? The standard YouTube playbook is built around volume. Post consistently, create lots of content, and eventually you will build an audience. This makes sense for beginners who need to demonstrate competence over time. But experts face a completely different situation. When you already have deep knowledge and proven results, creating demand is not about quantity. It is about demonstration. One well-crafted video that showcases your expertise can generate more qualified leads than 50 generic tips videos. Yet most professionals get trapped in the content hamster wheel, posting weekly videos that dilute their authority rather than concentrate it. They are competing on the wrong metric. While beginners need volume to build credibility, experts need precision to maintain it. The market does not need to see you create content. It needs to see you solve problems that matter. Volume is how beginners prove they are learning. Precision is how experts prove they have already learned. The difference determines whether YouTube becomes a client magnet or a time drain. What is the difference between a video that gets views today and expertise that attracts clients for decades? Most YouTube strategies focus on content that performs well right now, trending topics, algorithm-friendly formats, and viral hooks. This creates a constant cycle of creation and decay. Last month's video becomes irrelevant. Last year's content feels outdated. You are always chasing the next piece of content to maintain momentum. But authority works completely differently. When you demonstrate deep expertise, that demonstration does not expire. A video where you solve a complex problem showcases competence that compounds over time. Clients do not care when you recorded it. They care that you clearly understand their situation better than anyone else. While content creators burn out trying to feed the algorithm, experts can create fewer pieces that work harder for longer. The problem is that most professionals get seduced by content metrics instead of focusing on authority signals. They optimize for views that fade instead of trust that grows. Content decays because it is designed for immediate consumption. Authority compounds because it is built on lasting competence. One approach creates endless work. The other creates enduring value. If that distinction just clicked for you, I built a short diagnostic that helps you clarify which parts of your experience actually translate into authority and which ones don't. It's called the Expertise to Authority Breakdown. There's a link below if you want clarity instead of guesswork. What do you possess right now that no amount of YouTube training can teach someone else? Here is what most professionals do not realize. You are starting YouTube with advantages that beginners spend years trying to build. You already understand your clients' real problems, not just their surface complaints. You have seen which solutions actually work and which ones sound good but fail in practice. You can spot the difference between someone who has read about a problem and someone who has solved it hundreds of times. You have case studies, war stories, and hard-earned insights that cannot be Googled or copied. But standard YouTube advice ignores these advantages completely. It tells you to start from scratch, build slowly, and prove yourself like everyone else. This is backwards. Your experience is not something to downplay. It is your competitive moat. While beginners are trying to figure out what to say, you already know what your market needs to hear. The challenge is not building credibility. It is translating the credibility you already have into a format that attracts the right clients. Your unfair advantage is not what you need to learn about YouTube. It is what you already know about your field. The strategy should leverage this, not ignore it. What is more valuable to a potential client? Watching you post every day or seeing you solve their exact problem once? The YouTube hustle mentality pushes constant creation, daily uploads, and relentless consistency. This works for building audiences, but it is the wrong approach for attracting clients. Clients do not hire you because you are prolific. They hire you because you are precise. They need to see that you understand their situation better than they do, and that you can guide them to a solution they cannot reach alone. This requires clarity, not volume. One video that demonstrates deep insight into their specific challenge is worth more than 50 generic tips videos. But most professionals get caught in the content trap, thinking more posts equal more clients. They dilute their expertise across dozens of shallow topics instead of concentrating it into clear, compelling demonstrations of competence. The result is a lot of work that generates very little business. Meanwhile, the professionals who focus on clarity over quantity create fewer videos that work much harder. Hustle creates content. Clarity creates clients. At your level of expertise, the market does not need to see you working. It needs to see you thinking. And once you see this, something clicks. You stop wondering why the advice never fit. You stop thinking you were behind. And you stop trying to force yourself into systems that were never built for someone at your level. Because the problem was never YouTube. And it was never your experience. It was the way everything was being framed. Most professionals do not need more content. They do not need more tactics. And they definitely do not need more hustle. They need a way to be understood at the level they already operate. And once that happens, YouTube stops being something you do and starts doing something for you.